Hello everybody, this is Zerda with Zerda MTG, and I'm back at it again today with another testing video. And we're going to run back Blue-Black Flash yet again. So still on 2 Syncopate, 2 Opt, 4 Spectral Sailors, 4 Brandborn, 3 Merfolk Trickster. I'd play the 4th, but I wanted more interaction in the form of counterspells, so I cut one of those and 1 Shark Typhoon. 2 Cast Down, 2 Heartless Act, 2 Tyrant Scorn, 4 Brazen Borrower. It's what I prefer my creature interaction suite to be, not including the Trickster, who only does it for a turn and doesn't require reinvestment of mana from our opponent, so I don't really count it. I just kind of... It's a neat tool, and it can kill some creatures, like a Daxos, who will have its toughness setting ability removed, and I believe die. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. 4 Sea Dasher, 4 Spectral, 3 Slitherwisp because of mana constraints, and 1 Shark Typhoon for card advantage. I think that is more than enough card advantage, and even if I were to try and add the 4 Slitherwisp, I'm not sure what I'd cut for it, so I kind of just leave it where it is. And 2 Mystical Dispute because blue decks are good, and this is good against things besides just blue decks once we get to a point where we have a creature already in play. It's not bad if we have to go Brindborn and then just counter the very next thing with a Mystical because we want to use our mana while we can. That's in fact quite a fine play. 4 Watery Grave, 4 Drowned Catacombs, 5 Swamps, 8 Islands, 1 Castle Vantress. The Castle Vantress not being an island has hurt us a few times with Drowned Catacombs. We've only activated it a few times, but I still think it's worth it. It helps us to dig in games where we don't have a Spectral Sailor, and we just kind of need to find another threat or more interaction to keep our opponent out of the game, or to dig ourselves back into the game if it hasn't gotten too far away from us yet. Sideboard, 2 Disfigure for aggressive decks, along with 2 Moment of Craving, and a Selective Snare. All for kind of mono red and stuff of its ilk. 2 Scrabbling Claws in case we come up against anybody trying to do something with Uro, Cauldron Familiars, or just graveyard shenanigans in general. 1 Aethergust. Cut this from a Heartless Act, because what we wanted against is kind of Questing Beast decks, and those tend to be green. I figured Aethergust has a little bit more utility than the second, or in this case I guess it would be 4th copy of Heartless Act. Second copy in the board, 4th copy overall. So I'm going to try it out. Might also just fill more important roles. I guess it's not going to be as important with Luca and Frenzy being, I guess, they're not technically banned, but, you know, banned. 1 Negate, just to round out our counterspells. It's the best in the matchups we're going to want more counters in, so 1 Negate. Let's see, 2 more Mystical Dispute. We really wouldn't, but other blue decks are going to have them, so we kind of need them. So we go up to the full playset to just be sure we always have access to Dispute in matchups where Dispute matters. 2 more Shark Typhoon, just a cantripping threat that scales well into the late game is pretty good when we want it and pretty bad when we don't. So it lives in our sideboard as our card advantage threat against more Control-y or Teferi decks. Selective Snare, once again, just kind of for go-wide decks as a catch-up mechanism. If we get to bounce even just 2 creatures, that is more than enough to buy us the time we're going to need to start to deploy our own game plan. Or just buy us a turn to start swinging in and put our opponent on the back foot. If it's just a 2-mana bounce spell, I mean, then it's just a worse Brazen, but, you know, sometimes we'll need it. And 1 Entrancing Melody. I'm trying to determine between these two. I like Melody more if we're going to be playing against more mid-rangey matchups, Snare more if we're going to be playing against more aggressive matchups. There are just a lot of creatures that share creature types, like... This is probably a bad deck to use as an example. Merfolk, Pirate, Fairy Rogue, not going to have anything else of that. Octopus not, but you get the idea. It's gonna hit a decent number of lots of decks will have multiple targets we can hit for it, just incidentally. Anyway, that is it for today in the deck tech, so let's jump right into the games. And traditional historic ranked with Big Flash. Let's see what we're up against here. Alright. Playing against Spectre Flux. Opponent goes first, and we've got a slow hand with good mana. No companion, so... I would definitely like this on the play. On the draw, I'm kind of suspect, but I'm still gonna keep it. We'll lead on a tap land turn 1. Alright, and that's what I was a little worried about. We're going to have to shock next turn. Not a fan of this. Them knowing what we have, and us being the kind of deck we are. Not the best for us. This does put us in an interesting position, though. Nope, they're going to take the Brazen and take away the interesting position so that we won't be able to, or they're not. I don't want to hover over anything. They might end up taking it, seeing our cursor. Alright, Syncopate. So this is interesting, because they won't be able to pump next turn. Oh, that's even better. We're gonna wait, see if they dare to pump. I highly doubt it, because they know they'll just get Brazen bounced. They will, however, go to attacks before playing anything, so we can't just Trickster them. Oh, wow. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'd rather just bounce the Knight. I don't mind if they try and just deploy it again next turn. It's not something I'm actually concerned about. I think I'll just deploy Trickster, tapping down their threat. Maybe I deploy Brazen to be more mana efficient. Yeah, I think I'd just go with mana efficiency here. I'd rather have Trickster to help win a tight race if it gets down to that. Go for it, buddy. Got a Murderous Strider. Rankle. Cast down is non-legendary? That's annoying. So I think I let them hit us here. And uh-oh. Something's happening to Arena. I think I let them hit us, but I take away its ability and trade with the Knight of the Ebon Legion. That Arena has crashed. I am trying to get it back open for you now. So please do bear with me, and I really hope that I don't lose the game because of this. Alright, Arena's slowly reopening. Oof. Alright. It's not good. Just gotta wait for it to boot up. But yeah, the plan, let the Rankle hit us with no abilities, eat their creature, wait for it to respond, wait for it to respond, Oh boy. Please, arena, please. There we go. I think we just took a rankle hit because it took us too long. Yep, it took us too long. That really sucks. Alright, so what ended up happening? Oh, they didn't attack? Oh, I see. Wait, it's my turn. What happened? My turn? They just didn't attack? Oh, I guess they know about the trickster. But it's still weird. So here, I'm going to take away the Rankle's ability. And allow them to hit us. No blocks. 3 damage is nothing. Okay, Rekindling Phoenix is not nothing, but there's also nothing we can do about it. At least not for now. So unfortunately it looks like we're gonna have to go. I was hoping to Sea Dasher and push through. I think we can still do that. This is just going to be a little bit awkward. Right, especially now. So we're going to have to take away its ability and then kill it. Suppose we could also wait because of the land. But Rekindling Phoenix Rankle could be a problem. No, I don't think we have that luxury of waiting. No, I think we don't. Trickster, tap down Phoenix. Next, I'll attack. Draw a card just to see what it is. It's actually a pretty good draw. Give the Phoenix while it won't come back. So here we're going to take a full force Rankle hit, and that's not a place we want to be in. It's just the place we've ended up in. Do they maybe intend to sacrifice the knight? No? Alright. Alright. Oh, they're sacrificing murderers? Okay. I will take what I can get. Sadly, it is my creature murderous, or swift-ended. So it's worth noting here, Rankle is absolutely terrifying at the moment. Or sorry, not Rankle, Knight of the Even Legion. Luckily it appears our opponent is unwilling to just get in with it. So this is definitely the greedy play, but I want to get my card advantage when and where I can. And as much as I feel... No, I kind of feel like I might need to tap down the knight, but I also kind of want them to just play it this turn. Or to play their, not play their Murderous Rider. I know how to use words, I swear. Kind of hoping that they just pump. Suppose they get to decide after. Or do both anyway. Let's take a look at my options. I'll take a 1 mana try again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Drops me to 1. Wrinkle ever gets through, I'm dead. On the other hand, I'm fine with that. Just need to find some removal for their Murderous Rider, and I might be able to end it this turn. So this is definitely a very aggressive line I'm taking. But I think, well, I thought I had a shot at just ending it there. Alas, I appear to have been mistaken. Alright, so I'm gonna have to block Rankle. I'll get to draw a card. They wouldn't block the Slitherwisp anyway, so it's up to them if that lives or dies. No attacks. End turn. Cast down will be cast on the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Another knight is absolutely fine. First things first, activate ability. So that doesn't even need to be blocked, actually. I don't think so. You go there. Trying to determine and yeah, I think I just block there and then cast down the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Play a Brandborn. No reason to wait on that one. No attacks here. Just end the turn. And I'll use Brandborn to eat the Murderous Rider if it tries to come through. I'll probably bounce the Rankle and just chump the Knight. Actually, I'll bounce the Knight. Oof. Okay. So I'll have a blocker that can trade with the Rankle here. Bring the Knight off the board so it can't cancel this turn, and because I want to double cast with my Grindborn. Big shame we lost the Slitherwisp though. I should have set a stop there, that was my bad. Can I go ahead and wait to scry? But I should have scried in my upkeep. I realized it just as my opponent was ending the turn. There. Oh no. Oh, this is unfortunate. Alright, did we just die? We don't just die. but we're not in anywhere near as good of a position as I'd hoped. I think there's nothing we can do in game 1. Maybe a Shark Typhoon. Alright, let's see. So we could kill a creature and then just lose anyway. Playing one creature doesn't do anything. Stopping my upkeep. Up. And would we have gotten there? Nope. Alright. So, they got it. Had card advantage at every turn with the adventure removal spells, and some very nice scaling threats. That's actually a pretty interesting deck. I'm gonna want an Entrancing Melody, get myself some card advantage. I'm gonna want... I think I want card advantage, but not that much. Dispute might be better than negate here. Not by much, though. Guess I want the Heartless Act. No. I don't need to... Actually, yes, I do. I want the Heartless Act, and I don't necessarily need that cast down. It's not bad, though. It's just a tough... tough to navigate here. It's not something I'd been planning on when I built this. Alright. I guess negate's actually still decent, and I don't want the opts. I want a higher density of actual gas. A few more answers for their more problematic cards. And I'll play first. Yeah, I'll definitely keep this, especially on the play. Island Drowned Catacomb, Cutthroat Swamp is the plan. We're not against if we have to cast a Tyrant Scorn before we cast a Cutthroat, though. Before the Slitherwisp, it gets bigger. After the Slitherwisp, it draws us a card, so either way, we're fine with the outcome. They have synergy together. This is probably just going to get stomped, but it's going to get stomped eventually anyway. If it is, I'll attack. Unless our opponent taps out, I don't think we'll be Slitherwisping. I think here I'm just going to cycle Shark Typhoon for 1. It doesn't do anything synergy-wise, it is better later, but for now it's just giving us another body and getting us deeper into our deck so we can continue to hit land drops. And I think it's going to force our opponent's hand on something like that. Sorry if there's a bit of background noise right now. We have trash trucks just arriving where I am, so it's going to be a little noisy, but it shouldn't last too long. Sorry for the inconvenience. Alright, we're only going to get 1 draw off of water, so the Wisp here, we're fine with that. Wish I'd had the 1 more mana already, but So that way we could have bounced with Tyrant Scorn. Still not in a bad position. Spectral Sailor can be deceptively good in these grindy matchups where normally you would think a 1-mana 1/1 is just kind of dead weight. Our opponent can have their Murderous Rider. We don't care. Draw a card. And turn. Ideally, there would have been a land drop there, so we could have killed the Rider and held up removal. But, alas, that is not the case. So we'll just kill the Murderous Rider. Put it on the bottom of their library. Can't be countered anyway, so nothing we can do. If they down tick, then we'll just Brazen Borrower and deal 3 to it afterwards. As much as we would like to be able to save our Spectral Sailor. In that case, however, we will just bounce it. If they're not going to really spend any resources trying to deal with it. Yeah. I'll force the Chandra down to 3 if they want to actually deal with it. Gonna see the pain of Brazen Borrower not being able to bounce our own creatures here. Or not.
Hope it's not too hot for you.
Agonizing Remorse. Nothing we can do about it, so it resolves. This is what I expected. And I will save it once again, which will completely deal with the Murderous Rider. Be a 3/1. Hit Chandra. Nothing I can do about that.
I like your energy.
If they try and do 1 damage to our Brazen Borrower, then we'll just C-Dasher it. If they uptick, then we Spectral Sailor activate, as long as there's nothing else going on.
Let's get toasty.
Opponent is trying to put us under as much pressure as they can, and they have a decent amount of it from that Chandra. It's actually going to be fairly difficult to erase that if they have any removal, because we don't have any other means of interacting. Mutate onto the Sailor. Hopefully this works. Alright. Chandra down.
What's next for me?
As long as they don't have another one I was about to say. I'm pretty sure this is the end of the game. They had another Chandra. We've already got 2
Get out of
emblems.
front of me and get ready to
They're
meet
gonna
my
-3.
blades. Check out these fireworks.
Yeah, uncounterable sweeper with that comes with a built-in clock. It's not exactly something we're built to be. We're built to grind this out with slow incremental value. And that can't gain control of planeswalkers, or we might have had a shot here. I still don't think we should play the other one, what's it called? Oof, not Entrancing Melody, but the 4-mana double X that lets you steal X creatures and or planeswalkers. It's a shame, but alas. And I had a suspicion that the way they just kept upticking, they had another one, but I think we had to play in such a way that we would lose to it anyway. Yeah, there's really no coming back from this. I'm not going to make our opponent go through the motions, and I kind of don't want to waste your time at home, so I'm just going to go ahead and concede this one, admit defeat, and play again. Is it going to do that thing where it just refuses to load? I hope not. It's always unfortunate. Alright. Looks like I've got to force Arena to start behaving and restart it again. So please bear with me. I know this is not the greatest content, but alas. So, give me a moment as Arena finishes loading up again. I recommend you just, you know, skip ahead to where you see us in games again. There we go. Still waiting. Still a-waiting. Ha! Okay, that's an instant mole. That is also an instant mole. This is looking bad. I'm gonna keep, and as that first hand was bad and every hand after was completely unkeepable, there's a very good chance here that I just concede after figuring out what my... Yeah, I'm basically just gonna make my opponent show me what they are, because I don't think we're winning on a Mold 5 against a turn 1 mountain. Although now, I really don't think we have a chance to win this one. And I feel... 1, 2, 3. It really hurts to do this, but I just really want to know what they are. What kind of... Yeah, we weren't going to beat a Steamkin draw. Alright. And this will be the last turn. We're just trying to see a few more cards. We might play a Swamp to give them some confusion. So we'll play a Swamp here. Or not. Opponent just kills us. Good guy, opponent. Okay. So against red decks, Can bring in 2 Disfigure, 2 Moment. They're wizard heavy, so we will include a selective snare. Let's see, we don't want Shark Typhoon, we don't really want Mystical Dispute, and we don't want Syncopate. Just reactive spells not very good in this kind of a matchup. The only things we're really going to be focusing on countering are the burn spells that come to the face. Maybe that's an argument for Syncopate, but I like it to just be live the entire time. I suppose we could drop an Opt, but we want to stay low to the ground. Aether Gust is mediocre in this kind of a matchup. I think we're just going to run it like this. Heartless Act is kind of bad, and we do have a lot of removal though. So, trim a Heartless Act for an Aether Gust. Just thinking, I didn't actually consider Heartless Act being something we'd want to cut because I forgot about Steamkin. And I think we cut the other Heartless Act as well for a Syncopate. And, or for an Entrancing Melody, and play it like that. Entrancing Melody being able to steal a big creature they might have, or even just a small creature to block other creatures with would be kind of nice. I'll take the play. On the play, this is still slow. This is really slow. Gotta bin it. Oh, this is so bad. This is laughably bad. Alright, we'll keep this. Goodbye, Watery Grave. Goodbye, second Watery Grave. Hope that we draw some, lands that are a little bit, less painful. Lava Runner. There we go. And if they play something else... Oh. Oof. I think I'm still just gonna deploy the Spectral Sailor and be happy if they trade. Especially if they wait. Its goal is to trade with that Firebrand. No attacks. Of course, if given the opportunity, I will save it with a Sea Dasher. This is screaming, I have Wizard's Lightning, or similar. As much as I want to put that Slitherwisp down, I think I'll wait for them to use their mana. They're also saving the Firebrand to activate anyway. Hold up Lightning Strike or play the Vishino Pyromancer? Interesting question, and one that might end up beating us. Alright, so they're taking the line that actually might end up beating us here, because we can't deploy our Slitherwisp now, and they're forcing us to play somewhat off curve. So I'm going to make them kill our Sea... Actually, do I want to make them kill the Sea Dasher? Yes I do. I'd rather have the Slitherwisp. It represents just more versatility over time. And it's not something I'm going to be able to take. Like I'm going to be able to take this matchup very easily anyway. Alright, so as long as this Slitherwisp lasts a turn, drawing us even one card is what we're really trying to get here. It's a shame our opponent has spent 2 cards from their hand outside of land drops. They deploy the Pyro. Now that we're out of mana, we'll deploy the Slitherwisp. And start trying to catch up. Removal spell here. Alas, it is negate. With any luck, something we can negate will happen pre-combat. I think we need these a little too much to block right away. Because if we get to negate once now, and then cast one more spell during their turn, the Brineborn can trade for anything, as opposed to just trading, as I can eat things instead of just trading. Yep. Alas, it was not so. We'll bounce the Steamkin here. Pretty sure we've lost this though. I'm not seeing us getting back in here. Maybe I got too greedy. They could have had. Yeah, I think I got too greedy. Definitely got too greedy. For shame. Game 1, I mulled to Oblivion. Game 2, I didn't mull quite that bad. Oh, I should reset that. Almost forgot. There we go. Game 2, I suppose I should have been more cautious and just been willing to trade off. But I wasn't, and I paid the price for it. And our opponent, this is not to downplay, the opponent did play well. Them choosing not to deploy the Pyromancer there is definitely a key decision that very, very much ended up beating us. Let's see. On the play, I'll 100% keep that. I think I'd keep that on the draw. Lead on a tap land, turn 2, hold up Syncopate in aggressive matchups, or Brineborn in basically anything else. Oh, Syncopate it is. Although not necessarily. Depends on what they actually end up trying to deploy here. And that's something that I can just Brazen Borrower bounce. So it resolves. I mean, I do need to get on board myself. This means I don't get to start swinging yet. And if they deploy something even scarier, not that I can think of something, then instead I get to Syncopate it. Well, that's annoying. No, it doesn't. Goodbye. What am I talking about? That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I get to counter their removal spell. Bounce their dude. I get to maintain card parity with the Brazen Borrower that will become card advantage when it's cast, is what I'm getting at. It's exactly what I wanted. And I almost thought that it was bad, because I thought it was just set damage, not pseudo fight. Now we get to counter it. Maintain tempo, pull ahead with Brineborn's size. Here we are, outsizing mono green. Well, not mono, but you know. I'll forego a card here so that I can deploy Brazen and C-Dash onto it instead, so that I get to grow the Brineborn. soon. Put it under. Care more about damage here. And turn. It's 2 mana. So we might end up paying 2 mana to bounce their Null Hide with our Tyrant Swarm. Ho ho! Second Null Hide. 2 mana floating. Technically. Alright. So annoying, but nothing we can't deal with. Galta. How about Galta out of here? Please laugh, I swear I'm funny. Oh, this is not gonna go the way you want. Oh, for shame. Do it anyway? Do it for me? Alright. Double mutate onto the Brazen Borrower. And eat their Null Head Ferrex. They can try and double block. If they do, we will just Sea Dasher onto the Brineborn, put it over. Why not? We can do that too. We will continue to pull ahead. First card, second card, end turn. And now we don't even care about Galta. That was a... That would have been concerning, though, if we had tried to counter and they had just dropped a Galta instead. Yorvo is fine. We are easily outsizing them. We have ground superiority. Nope, go for it. Trickster. Tap down the elf. And the opponent has seen enough. We didn't even get the Tyrant score and kill their creature yet. Trancing Melody is going to be pretty good against Mono Green. Heartless Act not going to be very good here, if I'm being completely honest. Aether Gust can be. I kind of want Disfigure for the elves, but that seems kind of greedy. I think I like Mystical Dispute more than Negate, which is a very awkward place to be in a non-blue matchup. Let's see. I don't really want Shark Typhoons. I definitely don't want more disputes. I kind of almost want Selective Snare, but they don't share creature types. It's more that bouncing any of their creatures can buy us a lot of time. Yeah, I think I'll bring in a Disfigure to help hit their elves early. And this one's awkward. The Disfigures aren't so much good as I feel they're necessary. You have to bolt the birds, or in this case, disfigure them. Please note, do not do this to real-life birds. Alright, I'll keep this. This is actually a really good hand. Swamp, Disfigure, Brineborn, and hopefully we get to hold up Dispute on 3 for anything big. We also have a cast down for anything not questing beast. Alright, so we were definitely hoping to be able to disfigure something on turn 1. Suppose we'll have to settle for turn 2. say, if the disfigure doesn't do anything, then we're not going to be in a very good spot this game. But it did. It did its job. Even if they play a Yorvo, we'll just play a Brineborn, take a Yorvo hit. Actually, we can't cast down Yorvo anyway, so what am I saying? Of course we'll allow the Yorvo. We have no choice. Even if they Steel Leaf Champion, though. Brineborn. Nice. So, I kind of, depending on what they play, I kind of still want to deploy Brineborn instead of Slitherwisp. Just to grow our creatures. However, the Questing Beast will 100% Mystical Dispute, as Cast Down does not hit it. So even if they play something we want to hit, I'm just going to deploy the Slitherwisp, pass turn, and then go Brineborn plus Cast Down on their turn. Which could be bad, but I do feel we need to start pulling ahead on cards here. So that we'll have enough fuel. That's fine. It's about the best thing we could have hoped for. As long as far as the Rex go. Alright, so I very much doubt they're going to block our Brineborn here. And if they do, then we pay the price for bluffing. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I believe Galter costs 12. So we should be safe from it next turn. And with the Slitherwisp down, our opponent's bases are severely limited. They're not... What? I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I spoke there before I thought. I was gonna say, then, with Slitherwisp down, we could just deploy Brineborn on our turn anyway, because our opponent's options for what they can do on their turn would be limited, and we'd still be able to draw our cards. If our opponent casts anything too terrifying here, we Brineborn in response. If they play something that would let them also drop a Galta, say they just play another, or they play land or into Steel Leaf, or even just play another Steel Leaf, we will Brineborn, look for something, cast down. Alright, so I'm willing to sacrifice my Brineborn here in the name of a... So I'm going to be left with only one creature. I'm sad about it. No. I was hoping to go into another threat and use the ping there as a way to deal extra damage. I could have had them at 1 if I had just waited. Alas, I was not patient. Goodbye, Yorvo. Do they have the shock? No, we just eat their Yorvo. That feels good. Being able to just outsize and swing into mono green with impunity with your 2-drop. Nice 4/4. Shame if it had to go up against a 2-mana 6/5. So I think I'm in a bit of a funk today. Don't expect the rest of this to be the best Magic you've seen. Not that anything before on this channel has ever given you reason to suspect that would be, you know, something you should look for on this channel. I wouldn't be surprised to see a concession here. In fact, let's just go ahead and do this the easy way. It's gonna just cast it, but why bother when you could just bounce. We could have also just cast it if it was any flash threat. They'd have blocked the Brazen and ended up taking lethal there. But do the technically correct play, I suppose. Impress. Play again. Play PvP. What? That was weird. I hope all of these are PvP. Am I playing against bots and not knowing it? Alright, so... Let us see, let us see. Alright. Alright, on the draw, not the best, but not the worst. We have plenty of interaction with creatures, as long as the Brineborn sticks, and some interaction with anything later. I don't think we're gonna opt on turn 1. Oh. Okay. I think this is Goblin Storm. And that's concerning. Okay. No opt though. Bloodsuck? Go for it. I am confused. Oh, I see. Yeah, I was about to say it's gonna be Lotus Field. You know, I don't feel like, I feel this is dragons. And because I feel it's dragons, I don't feel like countering Sarkin does anything.
I fight with a dragon's rage!
And
I
again,
don't need this.
getting rid of the looting.
I need this!
That's actually a cool thing they've done. Oh, they feel their hand is good enough. They don't need to loot, they say. Alright, we're gonna hit the Sarkin, not them. I have no idea what's going on here, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I am terrified
you
of
think
it.
you're a warrior?
No, I think I'm a pirate. What about you? Fancy man in some leather. Try a merfolk with some bone saws. So is this a 1/1? Because it has a bone saw?
I know
That's
what
lame.
I'm doing.
It's not a good creature at all. What am I... Can't believe I had so much respect for it. Oh, haphazard bombardment? Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm honestly getting horrified of the mana producing they can do. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting down on that. I don't need them producing any more mana than they already can. So goodbye, Jaya. So this will eat their goblin. Hopefully they don't play a Wrath this turn, although I'm starting to think they're the kind of deck that will.
I'll show you unhinged.
Well, don't cast the Wrath even. You don't need it. You are unhinged. Let's opt. I like that. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Well, opponent has seen enough in game 1, and I haven't. I don't know what they are doing, and it is highly concerning to me. Okay. I guess we, want one less... what, even? I know we want Aether Gust. I guess we want to negate. I guess Mystical Dispute turns off pretty quickly. And that's about it. I don't know what they're even doing, though. Some interaction for any kind of permanent they put down, but not very good interaction. And on the draw, this isn't a creature matchup, I suppose, but I don't know that. This might be good, this might be bad. Oh, that's definitely bad. Okay, I'm old low. This might be, but it probably isn't. I feel like winning this is going to rely on Sea Dashers to dig us back out of this hole we just mulled ourselves into. The first hand was medium. We have now kept a actively bad hand. Hopefully we just get to Trickster Sea Dasher and not face consequences for that line of play. Trickster. Just to eat their wily goblin so it doesn't block it later. Fry's fun. % okay with that not 2 for winning us. I'm still not sure, is like negate good, is negate bad? We will not be brazen bouncing their treasure, by the way. Nor their mind stone. No matter how tempting it is. However, now we will bounce their mind stone, since we can do it consequence free. Don't want to bounce their Blood Sun and just give them another card, though. Mindstone is fine. Unsure if we will be deploying Brazen or just... I think just deploy Octopus here is where we're at. I want to start drawing cards. I don't want to give up card advantage. By... what do you call it? Mutating this onto something instead. Torture Dragonfire, no problem. Because our opponent hasn't presented anything that we should consider terrifying yet. This time we will deploy just a Brazen Borrower. The treasure. Get a 3/1 flyer. Start clocking our opponent in the air. No, not mutating. I want to hold up the negate. Although if they have Chandra, there's not much we can do about that. Their Blood Sun is fine. Here I will deploy a Sea Dasher. I want to get down Brineborn soon, but card draw is also important. No, we will not be defending our threats. We will be countering anything terrifying our opponent puts down, unless there's a Wrath. Basically the only thing that answers our threats we'll counter is a Wrath. Brineborn. Deploy secondary Brineborn. Three in the air. and that's the only thing we'll swing with. That we will negate. Worth noting they can do it again. So not a position we're happy to be in because of their mana, but as long as they don't have it, we're not gonna be... We might be able to save one of our Brineborns here, so we're gonna try. Actually. So the only thing that would save it here is an Opt or a Spectral Sailor. Spectral Sailor would also die itself. Drawing another Brineborn could be worth it. I don't think it is, though. There are so many other things we could draw that are also good. Alas, it was none of them. But doesn't mean that I don't think it was right. We had enough things that I felt confident that digging was the correct path. Deploy a 3-turn clock. Even if it means our only interaction with problematic permanent types is gone. Yep. And that we can't Tyrant Scorn to bounce it. Pass turn. Deploy Trickster. Being our last threat, we will defend it with a Tyrant Scorn if it comes down to it, and now we won't. Two damage a turn, so that's gonna cut it. Alright, as long as Syncopate is good, then we're good. Cannot counter, but we're fine with that. Don't need to bounce it. Put our opponent to 1. There we go. So there we would have just deployed a Brazen, and if anything happened to one of our creatures, we would have bounced that creature. Okay. So we're playing poorly, but we're slowly but surely getting out of gold. And we'll play one more game. And, well, I suppose we're gonna... I hate that it resets me to that every single time. I don't want to play against you, Sparky.
I was worried there for a minute.
I know, what if I actually wanted to play against you? That would be weird. Anyway, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. Maybe it'll help my attention actually stay focused on the game instead of wandering to a million unrelated topics and causing me to play poorly. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Oh, absolutely, I'll be on the play. This is fine on the play. Syncopate for the first real problem. Have an Opt that we're going to cast on turn 1 looking for a 3rd mana source. Don't need a Trickster. Well, not bad. There we go. I was going to say, well, not bad. That is not what we are looking for. Odonto Vanguard. I think that qualifies as the first card we just don't want to see. We don't have another... We have no way outside of counterspells to permanently deal with it. So you know what? I'm just going to bounce it. I don't actually mind. I'm just going to develop my mana a little bit further. And save Syncopate for Minota. Just try and race it. Especially with a Slitherwisp out. Would not mind at all getting down the Slitherwisp. No, go for it. I can bounce it later. And racing you, not gonna be the end of the, or the most difficult thing. As long as you don't get a Winota, so. Just gotta stay careful. I know I keep saying the word Winota, but let's see. I'll deploy if they don't do anything else, which, let's be honest, they're gonna do something else. Annoying. So I think I bounce it, because I can't counter it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bounce it, because I don't want them to have that either. Oh, this is excellent. I still get to counter a Blood Pressure Giant. And I get to have them not use it. I'm fine with this. Please just play Winota so I can counter it though. I'd like to stop having to worry about the Syncopate. Suppose I'd instead be more than happy to stop Elysian War Chief. Or War Boss. Don't know why I said War Chief. Confusing War Boss and Goblin Chieftain, I suppose. Vanguard actually becoming a problem. I feel now Winota's gonna come down. Hoo-hoo. Okay, Thalia. Rule Spellbreaker. Alright. Problems, problems, problems. Far as the eye can see. So I'll deploy Grindborn in the hopes of eventually being able to outsize anything. Yes, it does not seem to be. Don't even want to cast down here. Because if I cast down the Spellbreaker, and I cannot in fact cast down the Winota, it is legendary. If they find a problem card, I might be able to. Of course, it's indestructible this turn, and I have nothing with mana cost 4. So with us, let's see, so I go up to a 3/3. Alright, mutate on. I think I'm dead no matter how I did this, even if I cast. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, negate, obviously very bad in this matchup. Aether Gust, much better. Disfigure, good against plenty, including Thalia. Cast down, not the best. Heartless Act is better. Don't think this is an Opt or a Shark Typhoon matchup, but I'm not sure. Entrancing Melody to take anything might be good. I don't think I actually like it more than Shark Typhoon, though. No, they do have a lot of humans. They don't have a lot of humans. They have a lot of non-humans that don't really share creature types. So, let's play it like this and see how it goes. I'll be on the play. Oh, how I wish this would come in untapped. Alas, it is merely a turn 1 swamp and pass. Having been able to hit them for 2 and draw a card there would have been very nice. Alright, go for it with Lawnmower Elves. You do you. Not even going to counter. How do I put it? I'm not even going to worry about the elves. They have a lot more concerning things. And it wasn't a turn 1 elf, so it's a lot less valuable. That one, however. Actually, do I care? Yeah, it's still a creature. I don't want to deal with that also just sticking around. And here we get our engine going. Shifting Ceratops, go for it, by all means. Cutthroat. Got enough mana to give it reach, so I'm happy. And we get to continue deploying lands. So a Heartless Act on the Ceratops is going to be pretty good here. Rune Blaster will unfortunately resolve. Targeting a tap land, I do not care. And we will opt. Or should we Heartless Act the Rune Blaster? No, we'll just opt. Brazen Borrower is absolutely fine. And Slitherwisp too. Alright. So I'm tempted to attack all here, and then Brazen Borrow whatever, but I think I'll just leave it back and let it continue growing. I don't need to get what they have now off the board yet, so I'll be more than happy to sit back on my position. There we go. Part of the solution to beating Winota decks? I'm glad to be that. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything I'd like to change. Honestly, I just don't think we have that much we can change. So, we're gonna have to run it back. What I'd really like to see is a Disfigure in my opening hand. And I'm thinking I'm gonna want more to max out on Disfigures and just kind of give up on the Moment of Cravings. Even though it'll mean I have absolutely no life gain against Mono Red. I think that's just a price I'm gonna have to pay. Because Disfigure is being surprisingly good in way more matchups than I thought it would be. For instance, if I drew it here, I'd be ecstatic. Instead, I will merely deploy a Brineborn Cutthroat at end of turn, as it is my only option. trying to do that later. Oh well. I could force my opponent to take some damage. Not a very good line. I'm gonna get greedy. I know this is very, very risky here. Because if they let it resolve and then have a stomp, as opposed to if they stomp now, which is a mistake. Which is a mistake because now it comes in as a creature anyway. But if it had worked, I would have, or sorry, what they would have done that I was afraid of is I'd have got it down, had a 3/3, blocked their Thalia, first strike damage would have killed both of my cards. But my opponent did not play it out in the more card advantage, advantageous route. And so I'm not too concerned anymore. Them just killing it and me getting to keep my Sea Dasher could even result in them blocking, or leaving back a creature to block it near indefinitely, which is almost the same as removal. I say near indefinitely because they will definitely redeploy it as soon as it becomes necessary. I think I'll bounce the Thalia with Brazen. Oof. Alright, so they're gonna find Winota. No, I'm gonna Heart Desire Thalia. I really want that off the board. And I don't want it coming back. Question I have to ask myself now is, do I mind if they trade off with one? The answer is no, because if they do, I might end up just cast down in the other. I don't think I'm going to. No, I think I am. So hopefully they do something other than deploy the Bone Crusher here. I would like a turn where I just get to Brazen Borrow the Adonto Vanguard and have it not come back down. But I think it will come back down, so more advantageous to wait and see what they do after. Also worth noting, I do not want to merely put that back on top of their deck where they can use it again. I'm really in an awkward position here, but not much I can do about it. I think I'm gonna have to Slitherwisp and accept my fate. Whatever that may be. Slitherwisp will block Lawnmower Elf. No. Yes, it'll eat the Lawnmower Elf. And the goal is going to be to either gust anything big they do here. Slitherwisp next turn will try and trade with the Bone Crusher. I might Sea Dasher onto the Slitherwisp here to draw more cards. Either gust Gamori. If I target Bone Crusher, I lose. Deploy this as a 2/2. doing it now to exactly try and hit the land drop. I will likely deploy the Brazen Borrower and trade off. I stand corrected. I see with an Opta Disfigure. I like that. Let's put a stop in combat. Heartless Act Winota. It's hard to say if my opponent trades here. They don't. In case I know. So if they draw an actual Bone Crusher Giant, we are definitely. Alright. That is also a problem. Nothing we can do beforehand. Thalia is fine, we will make a 4/4. So the Wisp will trade. Shark will eat. Thalia is gone. Oh, that's right. Indestructible this turn. Put onto Vanguard. Yeah. No attacks, obviously. End turn. Stopping at combat. We will disfigure the Odonto. Oh, that was bad. I should have played the Grindborn first. 100% my mistake there. It's very, very unfortunate that it is. So we will destroy Thalia, trade with Winota. Or do we bounce the Marauders? No, we destroy Thalia. Trade with Winota. Alright, now we're in a decent spot. And I'm going to Heartless Act here, so that I can start drawing cards again, even though it means a smaller Cutthroat. It's my fault anyway, but it ended up working out for the best because I didn't actually think it through. And if I'd thought it through, I think I wouldn't have played it anyway. No, go for it. I can't counter it anyway. Blue. Resolve. No, I actually don't want them even attacking here. Strange as it seems. And even if it means I lose another land, I want to get in with my Sea Dasher. Opponent has seen enough for some reason. That was not game. We don't get to really do anything there, opponent. Alright, and we've hit diamond. Or sorry, platinum. We'll try and get back to diamond as soon as we can. Alright, so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the videos despite my incredibly poor play. And hope to see you all again next time. Ciao for now. Do-do is what I say as I wait to close arena.